if you thought sheet pan dinners were great, we are taking it to a whole new level. Mairlyn Smith joins us now.
I like you in pink.
Oh, thank you.
That's very nice.
Brightens you up. Right. Okay,
so we know about sheet pan dinners. They've been a big thing since, whatever, I was growing up. I mean, we've been doing sheet pan dinners forever because they're convenient, but there were some issues with doing them because cooking times.
Cooking times and making sure the protein's cooked and what vegetables you choose,
Yes.
and you couldn't use a sauce. And when I did a sheet pan dinner on the show a couple of months back, I remember thinking as a professional home economist, you know what, there's something missing here.
Yes.
And then I read an article in the New York Times a couple of weeks ago, and they came up with a better idea, and I was like, why didn't I think of that?
Okay.
They're using baking pans. So this is your cake pan, and then we're lining that, because that way we're going to do two different pans. We're going to put the vegetables in one, and the protein and all the bells and whistles in another one. And then you're controlling the amount of, like the length of time and making sure that everything's cooked to perfection.
Okay.
And I am thrilled about this, and I'm so ticked that I didn't come up with it.
So, what happens in the deeper pan then? What do you put in the deeper pan? Why does that make a difference?
Because I can add sauces. And so on the shallow one, you know, that you have a messy oven. It's usually a dry roasting method.
Yes.
So we're not using a dry roasting method. Now we're going to use a wet roasting method. So it's more like a braising in the oven.
She's talking to me like a kindergarten student because it's the kitchen and I don't know. I'm like, what's the difference?
No, but
that makes a lot of sense. So now you can use all the liquids and the sauces and do it all together. Okay.
That's right. And now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you sort of a template so that you can play in your own kitchen.
Okay, let's play.
Somebody once said, like,
Not
you
with
talk with a knife all the time, but it's like it's an appendage. So it's like, you know, I don't even think of it as
But it's a cute knife, too.
Isn't it cute? It's a little
looks very
baby
innocuous.
ceramic. No, and you know what? It's ceramic. It's a cute little knife. Anyway, okay, so you can use extra lean turkey sausage, which is what I'm going to use, or you could use a turkey breast that you slice up. But always remember that the cooking time is related to how big the sausage is. So you would cut the turkey breast into the same size. You could do a pork tenderloin, you could do a pork sausage, or you could do chicken thighs. So whatever you want to do, it's a pound, okay? But the trick with the sausage is that you want to score them, and when you're scoring them, that's going to let the liquids in. Now, you wouldn't do this if you were oven roasting because they dry out, right? So it's a little bit of a different thought process. Yeah. Okay. Now, at home, I would wash my hands before and after, but I don't have that, so I'm going to put on these babies.
Well, we just did our germ episode on Cityline.
You did?
Good for you with the gloves.
Oh, hey, listen.
You need them in the kitchen.
I am Miss Food Safety Queen, man.
Yes, you are.
People,
You're beyond, actually.
You know,
remember, she asks me all the time how I'm alive.
I do.
She's like, why are you living?
I go, you did
do everything wrong.
Oh, you do. It's crazy. It makes me nuts. Anyway, okay, so that's the first part. So you've got your protein, okay? So whatever protein you want. Now, every single recipe that you're going to do has got to have more moisture added, okay?
Yes.
So mushrooms, not only because they're good for you, they have vitamin D in them, which, you know, we talked about before. It's hard to get vitamin D in the winter months if you're not close to the sun. And as you get older, you know, stuff happens, and one of them is that you don't absorb, you know, you don't make vitamin D on your skin as well.
Right.
Like, it's just a hideous road down to hell. Anyway, so...
And people have told me that vitamin D is the difference between them being a nice human being and not. Like, vitamin D isn't very important.
Well, maybe that's why I'm so nice, because I take
You
vitamin.
have a lot of it.
I do.
She's pretty sweet. Yeah, you're a nice girl.
Thank you.
So get your vitamin D, however you need to get it.
Yeah. Okay, so size matters. I've said that so many times. So this is a little mushroom. It just does. So you want them all to kind of be the same size. So I cut that baby in half, okay?
Okay.
All right, now, so that has to go on, no matter what protein you use.
Yeah.
Then I'm adding red peppers because I always try to add more vegetables, but, you know, it's good for you.
Yes.
And then I'm going to add more. I'm going to add onion. This goes into every single recipe as well. And garlic, because without garlic, there's no point in living. That and chocolate, man, you know?
Yeah.
Seriously.
No,
okay,
I'm with
so
you.
Lots of garlic. And then you can use this. You don't want to use red pepper. You could use any one you want. I'm not a big fan of green, but, you know, you can if you want.
Me neither.
I don't know. They're bitter to me. It might be our DNA, you know.
Maybe.
And then you want to add about 2 1/4 cups of liquid. Now, this is a can of, they're called petite cut stewed tomatoes.
Okay.
Okay. So, but there's sodium in this. So if you don't want to use petite cut stewed tomatoes, you could use just going to smooth all that out. You could use like a can of stewed tomatoes that have no salt in them.
Okay.
They're going to have more liquid though, so you might want to serve this with pasta or with barley. You could use pasta sauce if you want, more bells and whistles, more expensive, or you could use salsa. But it's about 2 1/4 cups, and if you add more, remember it's going to be, you know, wetter.
Okay.
Okay, and then this goes into the oven for 30 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
And then while that's cooking, you're going to do your vegetables in a separate pan. And I just want to talk about some vegetables in general. Do you know what these are?
They're squash. Yes. They're ugly. They're ugly. I don't.
So people call this a turnip. This is a turnip.
Oh.
These are turnips.
Yeah.
And this is a rutabaga.
Oh, it's a rutabaga.
A rutabaga.
It's just so hard.
It really, really is, and they wax them because it's a storage vegetable, so they put it in cold storage.
Okay.
So you could use a rutabaga or a turnip, and I
This
would
one looks like a bum. Only you would find that funny, right?
I think it does. Okay. Remember, I'm always saying don't call this a yam.
Yes.
Because this is a yam.
Right.
So this is This is why I go mental. Like,
Yeah.
whoa! What do you think? They look the same. Now, mind you, this is a
gnarly.
little bit old. It kind of dried out, kind of shriveled up, but because it just did. Anyway, so and they don't even look the same. You know, when you cut them up, I mean, they're totally different. So that's why I go insane.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
They're very different.
They're very different. So don't use a yam. I just wanted to show you that. But
Okay.
you could do sweet potatoes. You could do carrots.
Yep.
You could do Brussels sprouts. But I would suggest doing just one because you don't want to have that different temperature thing.
Got it.
Okay. Now you could use cauliflower too, which I love.
Yeah.
I'm going to use broccoli because I love broccoli and it's so good for you.
good.
And I just want to show you a little tip. I've already washed that. I would make them into florets, like all the same size once again.
Yep.
People usually throw this out, but it's totally edible except for the tough part.
Yeah.
So I either cut that tough part out and eat that as a snack while I'm making my dinner.
Oh, good.
Or I put it as a crudité because it
Yeah.
doesn't taste good in soup. It's too smelly. It's got too much
Is that what you
sulfur.
find?
Yeah. So anyway,
You just nosh on that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
really good. And so,
Her insides are healthy.
oh,
Holy moly.
they don't call me the fiber queen for nothing. So when the ding there, then you put this in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes, and dinner's ready in an hour.
That is so great. Give it up for Mairlyn Smith.